Hello, my name is Joanne Cornell and I'm from A Roses Creations. I'm going to be doing a video on things that I'm going to be posting. So I have a lot of videos that I did for the past couple of weeks. I've been doing a video. I've been trying to do a video at least once a day because I have a lot of stuff that I want to do and a lot of stuff. But I've been only doing like an hour or so a day on that because that's all I can do right now before I end up getting really tired and I just can't do anymore. Excuse me. I'm not going to be doing any editing. This is going to be pretty much live, even though it's not live, just because in case I do mess up really bad, then I can just erase it and start over again. And so that's how that's going to work. But I've been pretty much going right through it. If I do a little mistake, I just kind of keep going and ignore it, just like somebody in a band would do, you know. No faces, just keep going, you know. So here I am. I made a bunch of videos, and I'm going to put them on YouTube and Facebook, and I will describe what I'm doing. On YouTube is going to be a little bit later because I'm going to get on a computer and I'm going to type up all descriptions and everything else, and so that way and put the links in and whatever I need to do on that. So Roses Creations 420 is my handle on that. I will end up posting that somewhere on Facebook for you so that way you can see it. I'm not sure if I can do it with the link with the video, but I'll see what I can do on Facebook. And then, like I said, on YouTube I'm going to be uploading a whole bunch of videos all at once, and then when that's done, then I'll end up doing the descriptions here and there in order to get them taken care of so that it describes what it is, so you're not going, oh my god, what video is that. Excuse the mess in the house. I've had a terrible couple of years right now, and so things are a mess because they're not even back to where they should be, because 2 years of not being able to do a lot of housework and get things. Sometimes things just sit where they sit now. Okay, so projects that I did that I want to show you, so this way you can now look for the videos on them, because I'll be posting this video first. Even though this video is the last video, I'm going to post this one first so that way you'll know what the heck's going on. I made curtains. 2 years ago I had bought material for curtains, didn't get to do it, so here it is. So these are curtains, they're kiss curtains for Dennis, and they're going to go in the basement in his little private. He has a little game area slash music slash man cave. Upstairs is pretty much mine. Downstairs is his, and even I took over some of that because of my sewing stuff, but that's a different story. So I show a video on how to do curtains. I will actually do a video on the sewing and everything else, but I did a Facebook thing where I ended up showing the steps on how to do it. One day I will end up doing the whole thing straight through and showing you, because I end up having to do everything in steps right now. I can't just cut everything out, so cut everything out. I can't mark everything, cut everything, then sew everything, then sit there and do the, you know, and then do the editing on video and everything else. So I've been doing it all in steps. And because I don't have an editing programmed either, I can't do the steps and just do the steps in the video, because I would have to clip things together in order to show you, you know, it, cutting it, then sewing it, then, you know what I mean, like, and then explaining it at the same time. But anyways, these are the curtains I made. Very easy. Descriptions and stuff is on my Facebook page. My Facebook page is Joanne Cornell, or you can go A Roses Creations and Healing, or Holistic Healing and Holistic Healing, and you can find me there. And then, like I said, the YouTube channel too, which is A Roses Creations 420. This is another one I made. This one is made out of curtain. It actually was a curtain already. I just cut the top off. I ended up using a top seam, and I just redid the top seam all over. I ripped it out. Then I put the material underneath it, and then I ended up sewing it back so that you can put the rod in here. So there's where the rod goes. There's the back of the curtain. Of course, it's a little ugly. It's not the best, but this is for my house, and ain't nobody gonna see it because it's gonna be in the basement, and it's gonna be facing out, so people aren't gonna really go, oh my god, there's a damn spot right there. So Marvel characters, kind of cool. I don't know. Yep, you can see them good there. Okay. Then I did another curtain because I did, these aren't done yet, but they're gonna be done soon. And these are Star Wars curtains. So Star Wars curtains, what I did on this one is I did these all different ways too. One of them is opening. One of them has two panels in its opening. One has one panel and it doesn't open. And then this one has two panels and it opens, but I did it a different way where the other ones I sewed them all together, and this one I did like a sort of like a pillowcase. So it's a pillowcase opening. If you wanted to do a pillowcase and stop right there, you can do that. All you have to do is take this and sew it down on here, you know what I mean? And that'll be your pillowcase. Or you can tuck it in on the inside so you still get the design, and then you have the pillowcase. So that's a pillowcase if you want to do it a pillowcase. But me, I'm not doing it that way. I'm doing this way. I'm going to take this and I'm going to sew this on the top of the design right here all the way across. And when I do this design all the way across, here's where you're going to be able to put the rod in. Two panels like this. This is one of them. You can see it closer up. And then here is the second one. There's 9 different panels, so 3 panels are the same on each one of these, and then there's 3 different ones on each of these. Oops. Same thing with this one. This is going to get sewed down. I'm probably going to do a zigzag stitch right here, so it looks kind of cool. It'll be black, so it won't matter. I mean, you know, with the Darth Vader and with everything else, it'll just be contrasting a little bit, but that's fine. I made a skirt. My industrial sewing machine, I still haven't learned how to work it. What I ended up doing is I ended up getting it when I was recovering from my diverticulitis and my colon resection. So I ended up getting it delivered because it took a while for me to be able to get it. The owner of it was on a vacation. She was taking a trip and traveling in a vehicle, going all sorts of different places. She's a rock collector, and so thank you, Barbara, for that. But I still haven't even, I attempted a couple of times, it didn't work, and I don't know what it was, and I was all frustrated and aggravated and everything else. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna let it go. I ended up getting a little bit of money from somebody, and I ended up buying a sewing machine which does things. It was the cheapest machine that I could find that did some embroidery, because I don't have embroidery on any of my machines except for this one here. So this, I think I have a couple some embroidery stitches, but not really. They're I wouldn't say they are embroidery stitches. I have my brother, which has some extra stitches that don't normally come with a straight sewing machine, but that I wouldn't call them embroidery. It's zigzag and it's, you know, different things, buttonholes and stuff like that. So I ended up taking a pair of shorts, because I found these shorts in Salvation Army. I think they cost like $2 because they were on sale, half price off. So it was like $2 or $3 for the damn pair of shorts. So I ended up making a skirt. So I made a skirt. I took the, oh my God, I can't think of it, the waistband off. Sorry, had a memory fart. I took the waistband off. I ended up taking the shorts and making them so that they're a skirt. Kept the slit, so I thought that was a little cute. And then I have to put the waistband on. When I went to try to put the waistband on, I ended up putting the waistband on, and I ended up breaking 3 needles, and I didn't even get this far. That was it. That's all I got to sew on it, because I kept breaking the needle, breaking the needle, breaking the needle. And so I ended up taking it apart again. It was only like this much, and I had to take it apart because I want to do it right. And it was just not working. So this is going to have to wait until I actually get the industrial machine working. So I have a lot of products that are almost finished, but not quite. So frustrating, but yeah. This one I think I did yesterday, which is maybe the day before, and it was a skirt that was way too long. I'm 4'11". I ended up taking at least 3 inches off of this damn thing, at least 3 or 4 inches off this damn thing. if not more, probably more. So I'm gonna end up doing a headband type thing or something, or even a belt with it, so I can do a belt and have that belt hanging off this. So all I did was show you how to make the cut in order to be able to shorten the skirt. Hemming is really easy. One of these days I'll show you how to hem. I'm going to end up hemming a pair of pants, and then when I hem the pair of pants I'll end up sewing it and showing you how to do that. So it's the same process, that same process of hemming a pants. Do not be afraid about cutting the pants and everything else. Just do it. You know what I mean? Like cut it, but cut it a little bit long. Then if you have to cut it a little bit shorter, cut it a little bit shorter. But you know, you're going to have the hem anyway. So if you have the hem, you have the hem. You do it once. Like if I do this, and I did this a little bit longer, I hem it once, doesn't work, then I'm going to hem it again a second time, up higher, one higher, fold it up higher a little bit more, and that's going to be it. I really believe I did cut the right size though, because it isn't my first time I've ever done such a thing, so I'm good. I did bowl koozies. Never thought I'd do them before. Every time I kept seeing them on Facebook and everything else, and then the things, and I was like, I'm not doing them. I can't stand that. What the hell? You know what I mean? Like, you know? But, I saw a video on it, and I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And next thing you know, I end up freaking burning my goddamn hand with the goddamn bowl. I took the bowl out of the microwave. I ended up, it was too freaking hot, and so then I went to go put it back into the microwave really quick because I lifted it up. I was like, oh, this is hot. And when I went to go, I ended up dropping it. I dropped it on the stove. It smashed all the pieces and ended up burning. I still have some scars over here where I ended up burning my hand. I didn't realize I heated the damn thing that hot. So I said, okay, I'm going to make bowl koozies now. So I have finished about 5 or 6, and I still got a bunch more to do. When I get adventurous, I will do more of those. So this is what a bowl koozie looks like. This is 100% cotton, even cotton thread. So when you do this, you have to have cotton thread, you have to have cotton material, and you'll also have to have cotton batting. So black material was cotton, thread is cotton, and then the batting inside, which is a thin material that is a little fluffy, it goes in there, so that way it'll conduct the heat and keep it from burning you when you do it. So I made 2 different designs right now. I will be making more designs, but these are the 2 that I had, materials that I had, and I ended up doing those. I will be showing you how to cut the waistband out. So I did that video. I'm going to be doing a video on that. I also showed how to do some seam ripping on stuff. Please learn how to seam rip. I don't care what you practice on. If it's a pair of pants you're going to throw out in the garbage even or whatever. If you're going to use it for material or something, that's great. I would use it for material because that's what I do. I recycle anything and everything because that's why I want to. I don't want to sit there and buy. Since Joann's Fabrics closed, it's really hard to get fabric. There are places that get fabric, but it's not that easy. And so this way, I can use stuff that's already going to get thrown away anyways. So I buy it cheap at yard sales, flea markets, and then I go to Salvation Army on half-off day sale. I also have people who have been donating some. I have a neighbor who ends up having, he gets storage. He buys storage bins. So when he buys the storage bins, he ends up getting material. I have another guy too. I'm going to check with him because if he's got clothing, I'm going to see if I can get it from him. And I don't believe it's going to be that hard for me to convince him. And I just ordered that just now because he gets storage bins. So I am going to do that in order to get more material. And then I just pick and choose what material I want, what material I don't want. If I don't want the material, I give it to the church. There's a Quinessett church over there has, they give away clothing to people who need clothing. So it's free clothing. So I am going to donate to them as much as I can because I've had a couple of people who are homeless and stuff like that, and I needed to, and they reached out, or you know what I mean, said, hey, you know, where can I get this or where can I get that, because they know that I'm thrifty and stuff, you know, and it's like, hey, you know, you have any idea where I can get? And I go, yeah, the church. You know what I mean? Or even on Facebook when people post on there, I need a pair of shorts, you know, and I can't afford to get it and I got to go on vacation. Yeah, the church. Same thing with medical supplies. They're very good about it. You don't have to belong to the church. All you do is go in there and you just say, hey, I need this. And then they bring it to the medical supply area or they give you a clothing area. And they have certain days where they're open, though. I don't remember the days, but go ahead and do that. This is a great place. And if you need to donate stuff, you want to donate stuff, bring it down to Post Road, Quinnesset Church, because they have a drop-off bin there. They do take medical supplies too, and you know, whatever helps. Even the medical supplies, if it's not working or something, or if they have way too many walkers or way too many of something, they end up taking it and they bring it down to the scrap yard. So at least they're getting some cash for it, and then the cash goes towards getting volunteers. It's all volunteers in there, so everybody that's on in there, they have dog food in there and cat food in there sometimes too, some pet supplies. Great place to get stuff if you need it, and then also great place to drop off stuff. So I did. I even have some designer jeans, some designer dresses that were given to me. I even had a wedding dress that was given to me, and I feel bad because the wedding dress was given to me and I ended up cutting it up because it was really damaged and bad and ugly. And I mean, it was really bad. It was like, oh my God, like if I was the bride with this dress, I would never ever want to see this dress in this condition. So I ended up ripping it up, taking it apart right the same day as I got it, because I was just like, no, I'm like, I can't have this dress. To me, it just felt like bad juju having a dress. Having material, that's different, but having the actual whole dress, I just couldn't even. I felt bad for the bride, even though I didn't even know her, which is kind of weird. Then probably about a week later, the person who ended up buying the storage bin called me up, and he's like, hey, he says, you know that clothes I gave you? And I said, yeah. He says, well, he says, person that owned it wants to know if the wedding dress can come back. And I'm like, you know, the wedding dress was really horrible looking, right? And he says, yeah. He says, do you still have it? You know, like, because he wasn't sure, because like I told him I was going to donate everything if I didn't keep it. I said, no. I have it. I said, but it's all ripped up now. I says, I took everything apart on that thing. I said, because I just didn't want it in the house. I felt so bad for that bride about the dress. You know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't do it. If and when she ever comes in, if and when she ever reaches out to me, then I will make some kind of a little like keepsake pouch out of the material for her. And I might even talk to Kyle and see if he has her address and phone number, you know what I mean, and kind of do that. But right at the time that she did that, I got it. I wasn't in any position to be able to make anything for her, so that's why I didn't volunteer that right there and then, because I didn't know when I was going to be able to do any sewing at all. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of things. I'm going to be showing you how to cut shorts, how to cut and hem pants, how to transform, you know, shorts into skirts, how to take a skirt and shorten it, how to make it. I'm also going to be taking, oh, hold on one second, I'll be right back. I already seam ripped. This is why I said don't be afraid of seam rippers, because you need them. And if you make a mistake, you can rip it out and then fix it, and that's it. So I already took these pants, because these pants were too small for me. But I really like them because they got a knee pad on them. They got a knee pad on them. I don't know if you can see the knee pad right there. So I really like these. So I took out the waistband and I seam ripped on both sides. So I seam ripped on that side and I seam ripped on this side. And what I'm going to do is put either this material, which I think it's going to be this material. I put on Facebook to see if anybody would answer me on which one they like better, but this one is roses. That's the right side. This is the right side. So it's yellow roses. It's really pretty. So I have that one, and then I have this one, which is flowers, but it's a little bit lighter and it's a little bit shinier and shimmier. And what I'm going to do with those pants is make them so that they're hippie pants. So I'm going to make it so that bell bottoms, and then I'm going to make a stripe going all the way up the top. So it's going to go all the way up to the top. And then I have a replacement waistband because I took apart a bunch of other pants for material and I took the waistbands off. So I took all the waistbands off and I have them collected on a coat hanger. They just threaded through the coat hanger. And so now I can sit there and I can go, okay, I need this size waistband. And then and then this color. So this color and this size. So I have blues and blacks mainly. I have one that's a couple of them that's floral and different patterns and stuff. I might use those for straps for purses or something or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll find some material that'll match it and I'll end up doing something with it. But they're all over there. But I took the ones that are all my size and I put them on a different one because now I can sit there and if I make something and if I'm expanding something, I can use a different waistband. I can also show you how to make the waistband smaller, which I'm going to end up doing, and then also make the waistband bigger so that way you know. So that way you can just feed a couple of waistbands together and make it look okay and not bad. But with this one, I have a black waistband that's already from another pair of pants. It fits me good. So that's what I'm going to be using for the width. And then what I'm going to end up doing is taking and putting whatever size material I need on the waistband to add the waistband material. I'll figure out how much I need for the, what this waistband is and what my waistband is, and then figure out how much the material is, and that's what I'll do. I'll end up doing that strip, and then it's going to go wider and wider until it's bell bottom on the bottom, and they should look hippie pants. So that's cool. And I am going to show you how to make things bigger and make things smaller. So if you have a shirt, I'm going to be able to show you how to make it bigger and how to make it smaller. And I'd also like to show you how to make patterns out of clothing that you already have, where you can change something up. So like this dress, if I like this dress, I take this dress and I can put sleeves on the darn thing. Or I could, and it's easy because all you have to do is take a shirt that you already like with the sleeves that already fit you, and then you can make your own patterns. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that. I'm also going to be showing you how to read a pattern. I'm going to be showing you how to read the new digital patterns that they have, because the new digital patterns that they have are dumbed down. And I'm not trying to insult any creator who has sat there and made a pattern that isn't a McCall's or a Simplicity pattern, because they're complicated. It makes it easier for someone who doesn't sew to use these patterns. So I'm thinking that they're good, you know what I mean? Like, because I learned from the complicated patterns. So learning from the complicated patterns, to sit there and go from the complicated pattern, I did sew for about 10 years straight, 10, 11 years straight. And then I stopped sewing for about 30 years. And now I'm starting again. I'm also going to be incorporating some crochet. So I'm going to have some crochet, by the way. So I'm going to put this on Mock's thing too. I also going to have some crocheting on there. So what I'm going to do is do granny squares or something. And then the granny squares are going to go down the sides of the pants. Or I can use them for designs like on a shirt. Or I can put a pocket on a shirt, put a pocket on a pair of pants. Make it so that it's fun, something with the crochet and stuff too. So I'm going to incorporate crocheting in most definitely. I did my first purse I made because I didn't have the sewing machine set up or anything else like that. And here is the first purse I made, which was pretty much no sew. There was no sewing except for I sewed in a waistband and I sewed in a liner. So I sewed in a liner, but the liner doesn't even have pockets. It's just a big liner and that's it. I might want to take it apart later on and put another liner, but this thing has snaps so it closes. It's not perfect. There's some defects in there, but it has the 4 pockets that were on the pants in the first place that already had the lace on it already and everything. And then what I did is I crocheted the bottom. So all I did was take, and this is an easiest way to do this, in order to add the crochet to a pair of something, you know what I mean, in order to make it, you can sit there and just sew it right into the thing with the crochet yarn. So when you're crocheting, you make holes. I made holes all the way around the whole bottom of this. And then what I did is I just crocheted, and then I linked in, and then I crocheted, and then I linked in. I crocheted a stitch, linked in, and then that's how I got this. So as you can see, this is old now. It's probably about 2.5 years old, but that's what I did. So I just sewed it in. I just did it with the actual yarn itself going in the holes. Make sure you make the holes a little bit further than you want from the edge, because otherwise if you pull and you have something in here and you pull it, it's going to rip. This thing is durable as hell. I mean, there's nothing. 2 years I've been using it just like this, and I've been carrying all sorts of stuff in it. And then what I did is ended up using a scarf for a handle. And all I did was take the scarf and I ended up feeding it into 2 of the loops of the pants. So simple as hell. So normally I would take this and sew this, and I'd also sew the liner and then put the liner in and then put at least 1 more pocket inside the liner. And then I'm going to be showing you how to do that too. So I'll be showing you how to make different, put zippers in, take zippers out, put zippers back in, how to fix a zipper, how to put buttons on, how to take buttons off, because you take buttons off of stuff and collect them, and then that way when you need it for something else, you put it on something else. So things that you normally would throw away and waste, you're not having to do that. One of my another projects I'm doing is a bunny too. So I'm making a bunny, which is kind of funny because Dennis came home and he knew I was making a bunny. I'm gonna take you with me just so it listen. So he knew I was making a bunny, and he laughed because he's seen this bunny, because I'm using this bunny as a prototype thing because I want to make my own pattern too. But I did buy a pattern. So I had this bunny sitting on the table over there, and he goes, "Oh," he says, "you already made the bunny?" And I'm like, "Yeah, smarty pants." Yeah. And then this is a pair of shorts I'm going to be using to show you how to do the waistband, because I don't want to do a big one. And here is the actual waistband that I'm going to be using for the other pair of pants that I'm going to be putting the yellow on the side is. This fits. I kept the loops even. It's a Gloria Vanderbilt one, which some of you won't know, but that was a good expensive designer when we were kids, or when I was kids. So I'll be doing that, but I'm going to be doing this waistband just to show you how to do a waistband, but not sitting here doing a huge waistband, so it's not going to be a long video. Alrighty, so here we go again, 28 minutes. All right, I'm doing these under half an hour at least. I got a lot to say, and I'm trying to say it in the shortest amount of time. I apologize if I'm going and talking a little bit faster than I should, but I want everything to get put in the video and then be able to upload it without having any problems. Okay, like, subscribe, share. When I do get Patreon, which I got Patreon, but I haven't have it totally set up yet. When I do get it and stuff, I will end up posting that on there. And I have Venmo too. If you want to do any kind of donations or something, reach out to me if you want to do donations on clothing too. I will accept certain clothing. And then, like I said, whatever clothing I don't keep myself, I'll end up giving to the church, so at least it won't go to somewhere, it won't be wasted. Have a great day. Thank you for watching, and I'll be making more videos. Watch out. It's going to go crazy. I'm going to try to do a video at least every other day, depending on what's going on in my life, and then also if I'm hurting or not. I do grow in cannabis too naturally, so I don't put any pesticides or anything. I'm not that great of a grower, but farming is farming, you know what I mean? So I don't follow all the rules of what everybody does in order to get the prize plants, but I do get some good cannabis out of it.
So, you know, that I also do some I've done some farming. I want to do some metal smithing too still. I can't and haven't been able to do that in a while, but I have copper piping and copper wiring, and also silver spoons and silverware that I make jewelry out of. I did make this, which is just a simple heart. I will be showing you how to do that. Spoon rings, and then bracelets. I have bracelets too. I don't have it because I wasn't thinking about doing that on this video, but I have those too. And I also want to do some molding on silver and copper, and I also want to do the oh my god, I forgot what they call it. The moon. It sort of looks like a moon surface bracelets in the copper. So I want to do that. I can't remember the name of what it is, but and then I also made some that look like feathers made out of copper plate. They look cool. It's a whole bunch of different things. I also want to make a smelting machine, so I want to do a place where I can end up melting one of those ovens, so I can end up melting the metal and then forming something else with it, and then recycling metal too. One of these days I want to be able to get a bunch of wire and stuff and then be able to make magic out of it, you know, make some jewelry out of it. So I think that'll be fun. And there you go. All right. Again, goodbye. Have a great day, and I hope to see you soon. Thanks. Enjoy.